Hello and welcome to Stampin' Among the Gum Trees. It is Tuesday, the 14th of October, 2025, and this is a live show today. Every day during October, I will be stamping or card making or doing some sort of Christmas paper craft for the whole 31 days of October and live streaming them as I do them. So I hope you can join me for the rest of the month. If you've joined me up until now, thank you so much. And we are almost halfway through. Almost. Tomorrow marks the halfway mark. It's been a lot of fun. I've done a lot of stamping and card making and a few other bits and bobs, and it has been wonderful. Today, we're going to talk about heat embossing. It's my favorite thing. It's almost magic to heat emboss something and see it come to life before your very eyes. And that little bit of texture or that little bit of bling can really add pizzazz to your card or your scrapbook page or your 3D project. So let's get started. Hello, Evelyn. Thank you for being here today. I hope you enjoy what I've got to show you for heat embossing. I really enjoy it. I think it's one of the easiest ways to turn a nice card into a fabulous card. And it's really, really simple. There's no great skill required to heat emboss. We're very fortunate to live in 2025 when we've got wonderful tools that we can use to heat emboss. And best of all, none of those tools are overly expensive. And they all last for a really long time. So that works really well too. Okay, now let's get started. I am going to flip you down so that we can see my desktop. There we go. Look at that. It works. It works, folks. It works, which is really, really good. Okay. Heat embossing is simply the process of melting embossing powder, which is usually some sort of metallic or mineral, so that it's shiny and it forms shiny bits. Now I'm just going to show you some examples of what I've done. This is one where I actually stamped and then heat embossed and then die cut the shapes to get that texture. And that is the Countryside Corners set of dies that I use for these. This card is just simply a sentiment stamped in silver, but it just lifted. I could have stamped it in black, or I could have stamped it in petal pink. Had to stop and think about the name of that. Petal pink, but silver just lifted it a little bit. I think I've shown you this before. Again, I used the stamp out of the stamp set, stamped it in Versamark, sprinkled it with silver embossing powder, heat set it, and there's the wreath. It just looks pretty. Here's another way with our gingerbread man. We've stuck his together, stamped him, and heat embossed in white for the outline, for the icing, for the gingerbread man card. This one, I stamped the flower in Versamark, heat set it with silver, and then used the masks and blending brushes to colour it in. Heat setting for colouring with blending brushes on masks and things works really, really well. Here I've stamped the sentiment and heat set it in white. This one, stamped the vase, heat set it in gold, and then use the die to cut it out. That is the kintsugi sweet. I think you all saw me make this one a couple of weeks ago. We just heat set the sentiment. Here's another one. Same thing. I heat set in gold, used my blending brush to rub the colour over, and then die cut it to stick to the front of this card, and then heat set the thanks at the bottom. This one on the front of this album, Merry Christmas, is heat set in gold. It sets off the gold around the foil. It picked up the gold there. There's gold in the paper, so it just made sense to use gold for those. Just different ways. But you can also, let me get my little box of tricks. You can also heat emboss on foil. That's silver foil, our silver foil cardstock, stamped with a snowflake and then heat embossed with silver, the Wow silver. Or you can, here we go, I don't know if this will show up. See the shine on that? That is simply, that's from the tags, what's it called? Trio of tags, pattern tag dies. That's the die I used for the presentation box set on Saturday. But die cut in shaded spruce, what I did for this was, because I don't have the stamps, I only have the dies. So this one, I took the die, which is here, and I took my Versamark, which is the sticky ink pad, and I inked up the die like so. And to get it to stick to the cardstock, twofold, placed it over the cardstock, ran it through my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and then heat set it with clear embossing powder so that the shaded spruce shines through. That will look especially nice on the tag. It'll show up beautifully. Or even on the silver, and we could do it on silver because it has white on the back, so we could use that. So you don't need to heat emboss in a metallic colour. Now, the embossing powders I use are these embossing powders. I'll turn it around the right way so you can see it, embossing powders. And these are the Wow, Metallics Wow embossing powders. They come in gold, a really nice sort of copper, and silver. Where's my silver one? I use those a lot. They come in a set of 3, just like that. They're in my store. Not overly expensive, and they will last you for a very long time, a very, very long time. Then there are our basics. So we've got the clear, which just looks white, so you need to be careful not to confuse it with the white embossing powder. And I have black too. They're the 6 that I use most of all. They are just amazing. They turn a simple card or gift card or page into something special. I keep them all in my embossing. This is called the Embossing Editions Kit. This is called the Embossing Editions Kit. So you've got your big tray, a brush, your reverse tweezers, and an embossing buddy. Comes in a set. You will have seen me use the little pink where is it? Oh, it's over there. The little pink version of this, which is not a Stampin' Up product. It's a bead tray. It's really good because it's small. It's good to pack when I'm going on retreats or for classes and things. It's really, really good to do that sort of thing. So, nothing to be afraid of with heat embossing. It's really simple. Again, you have a Versamark ink pad. And Versamark, it's called a watermark stamp pad. It's sticky. It's really sticky. And that's what we want because we want the embossing powder to stick to it. We don't want it to go fall off because otherwise it won't work. Now, as with all the stamp pads that Stampin' Up sells, you can get a re-inker for it. So if you think your Versamark's getting a bit dry, grab your re-inker, and just like we did yesterday, it's just a few drops. Just a few drops on your... Now, I don't know if you can see, this is really thick. Your Versamark's really thick. It's not thin like regular ink. See if it pop it on. And then, where's my little spatula doobie? Just massage it in. Just so your pad, stamp pad, is nice and tacky and sticky for when you want to stamp your image. Now, there's my wipe it off so I can put that away. And there you go. So the only thing you need to really remember with heat embossing is to always use your embossing buddy to take away the static on your cardstock. So let's play. Let's see what I've got. I'll move these out of the way. One thing at a time. Let's move these out of the way so they don't get in the road. We'll pop these back over here, just like so. They can go back in there. That in there for the minute. Right. This is a version of the box we did on Saturday, the presentation box. I haven't decorated the top yet, so that's what my goal is for today. Done the cards, done the gift tags. I want to decorate the top. So I was playing with snowflakes and thinking about different things I could do. Snowflakes, popping something like that on it. Then I thought, well, maybe we could do that and heat emboss the sentiment across the front like that, because that sort of looks all right. We can do some other little stars, not stars, what are they? Snowflakes to sprinkle around. So we can have a really good play. We could even do another tag like that. Cut some silver and put it behind it. Maybe we could. Thinking. That goes through there. That makes, if we cut it on that line. Thinking. We'd almost, oh no, we've got that there, so that won't work because it'll leave a hole. But we could do that and then put a strip across it with the sentiment on it. Don't know. Lots of things we can do. Lots and lots of things we can do. So, first of all, let's get some heat embossing done. Let's get my stuff together. What am I going to do first? What am I going to do first? I'm going to cut some, where is it? Here, cut some banners. And I'm using the Peace on Earth dies because they're staggered. What are they called? Nesting dies. So they work really well. Got some white. Got some green somewhere. Some shaded spruce. I'm sure I have. Yep. Good for scraps too. Using your heat embossing. And pop this down. Pop this down. Get my plates out. Number 1, number 2, because we're just going to be die cutting. Will that fit? Yes, it will. Will that fit? Nope. Darn. Okay, that's all right. Do it like that, and we'll. Maybe I'll put that on the plate. Clear plates, bit of a pain. Do it like that. And we've got a strip to use for a sentiment. Okay. Link it through. There we go. So that's one done. How good is it that we live in a world where we have dies? It's too wide. That's not. I might do. Let's do. Gosh, none of these are going to fit, but we can fit that. Get 2 at once. Yep. 2 for the price of 1. That's always a good thing. Hold that in place. Your plate in. Blanket. Nope. Missed the plate. Done. What have I done? Okay. Plates are in. Oh, I didn't have it in far enough. Okay. You can sort of feel it grab. Now I've moved my die. I don't really want to move it. So I have to put some sticky stuff on it. Is it cold? There you go. You can feel it grab. No, it still won't go through. What have I done? Interesting. It's interesting. Okay, let's try this. That's well and truly in. So is that. All right, starting from scratch. There we go. Move it up. Pop it in. Push it through. It's turning, but it's not feeding. I've broken it. No. All right. We'll try again. Hi, Kylie. Let's try again. Honestly, I just used it before and it worked perfectly fine. And there it goes. I must have had it lined up properly. There we are. Isn't that always the way? I'm going to do a big one, just in case. Why not? While it's here, we might as well use it. Get my plates. It's lined up. I feel it's not grabbing. That is not going to work because the plates aren't lined up. I don't know if you can see. See the sandwich there? I've got this top plate way off. Way off. And that's just not going to work. We run the danger, not only will the die not cut, but we run the danger of snapping the plate if you're not careful. I know it seems like This has been painful today. Could just be my fingers. No. Still doesn't want to go. It's really interesting. Okay. I'm trying to see. It looks all right. It works better this way. Let's try it this way. Or pretend I'm left-handed. Pretend I'm left-handed and see if I can get it to work that way. Which means I have to go that way, don't I? Well, it grabbed the top plate. It just didn't grab the bottom one. So it's the bottom plates that are the issue. Oh, there you go. I didn't have the bottom one, the white one, the number 1 plate lined up. How's that? It's all crazy. See? Do you learn heaps when you're stamping with me? Try if I can reverse it. There we go. I didn't have the white bottom plate lined up, guys. Makes all the difference. Yeah. Did it cut? And it didn't cut all the way through because it mustn't have been on the plate. So luckily the ridge was there so I could cut it out. All right. I'm going to give up on the die cutting. I'm going to give up on the die cutting. And we'll do some heat embossing. The other thing you can do is, this isn't necessarily heat embossing, although it sort of is, and I will show you, is colour on colour. So let's get some. Take one of these, put those up there. Let's get a little stamp. Stamp. As we can do colour on colour. Embossing buddy. I am generous with the embossing powder. I don't want any little flecks of, generous with the embossing buddy. I don't want any little flecks of anything hanging around. Let's find little snowflakes I thought we could use on here. There's a teeny tiny one. There it is. Let's try that. And we're just going to stamp and stamp. Random stamping. That. And like that. Let's get some. I might do white just for a change. We'll see what this looks like with white. Clear white. Yep, there we go. Really important. Now, it's little, so I'm just going to leave it in the tray and go like so. Bit like I do with regular stamping, I like to let it sit for just a couple of seconds so that it will stick. Then we can drop it into the Now there's a couple of little stray bits just there and there. It's not too bad. Okay. Nope, 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 nope. Let me try this. That one mustn't have had much Versamark on it. It's not very well stuck. Oh, there's that one. That's all right, we can cover that up. All right, big noise, turning on the heat gun. Makes a shocking noise. Moving the embossing powder out of the way. As soon as it starts to change colour, move on, because you can actually burn your embossing powder. I'm burning my thing. Isn't that a dreadful noise? Okay. You can see where some have been really well inked up, some haven't been so well inked up. The embossing powder hasn't stuck as well. But can you see how shiny it is? White on white. It's really super shiny. That's a nice way to do it. Now we can dust that off. And with your tray, sweep it down. So we're going to, just like I do with the little one, pop it all back into the jar. Now, what didn't I do? Can anyone tell me what I didn't do that would have made this so much easier? I didn't dust the tray with the embossing buddy. You can dust your tray with your embossing buddy so that the powder doesn't stick to it. Just like this. I usually just go over it. I don't know if you can see it's actually in there. Give it a shot. Just like that. And you, the powder doesn't stick to it. Pop the lid back on. All right, what else can we do? What else can we do? We can cut that off because it's annoying me. Where's my scissors? Just like so. And we can get a bigger snowflake. Just like so. And we'll try this one in silver. It's a big stamp. So remember, with big stamps, we take the ink pad to the stamp, not the stamp to the ink pad. Give it a good dose. Almost forgot. Just let it sit for a moment so that the cardstock will absorb the Versamark. And I can see the image, but you probably can't. All right. What did I say? Silver. Oh, wonder what it'd look like in black. Okay, that could be our next one. Silver. So again, let's just be generous. Now, this should go in so much more easier. A little. Just put it back in the jar. You see, it's not sticking nearly as much as it was. So much easier. Those embossing buddies work their weight in whatever's inside them. And I'm pretty sure that somewhere I've got instructions for making one, but you know what? Just as easy. They're not expensive and they're fiddly to make because they're little. So there we go. All right, let's try this again. Big noise, sorry. Pretty as that. Now, as soon as your embossing powder changes color, move on to the next section. You can burn it. You can overheat it and burn it. And when that happens, it will go dull. It will just be dull and ugly. And I did the back because you see it's sort of got a bit of a bow to it. The cardstock will warp a bit. So heat both sides. That's really pretty. Really, really pretty. We can die cut that because there is a die for that. So let's see. Let's do it while I'm in the mood. There we go. And I will be using some washi tape to hold this in place. So that the older I get, the more particular I get about making sure dies are lined up. I do a bit of washi. Really, really, really get upset if my die doesn't, or if my cut doesn't match the die so much. Okay, just going to pop it down there. Match. Just to hold it in place. A little bit down this end too, I think. I'm not pushing the washi tape down because I don't want it to tear the cardstock. Sometimes this cheaper washi will. This is just Kmart, whatever, left over from when Hannah was in school doing all her covering her books in washi tape, because that's what she used to do. That's what the girls used to do. Push that right through, lined it up. Yep. Nope. That. Lined it up and push. See, when everything's lined up, it works perfectly. What a lesson. Okay. Go. A snowflake. Let's see what it looks like on the shaded spruce. What did I do with that piece of shaded spruce I had? Had some offcuts. Shaded spruce. Because I really don't know how I'm going to decorate the front of this box. Okay. Let me just trim it down so that it will fit into the do it this way. Die. Sure. Okay. Alrighty. Let's do this one and see what it looks like. And then we can do, I can show you colour on colour. Haven't stamped it yet, have I? Duh. Bling. There's the stamp. There's the embossing buddy. This mark. There we go. There for a moment. Hi, Maureen. I'm not forcing it down, I'm just holding it in place. When you force it down, it puts pressure on it, it spreads it, and you don't get a nice clean image. So just hold it in place like I like to do with the regular ink pads. Let the, and that's not a particularly good one. So we're going to turn it over and try again. Didn't leave a very good impression on one. I'll show you if I can. Didn't leave a very good impression. See up here, that impression was not good. So I either didn't have enough ink on the enough Versamark on the stamp, or it might have been wobbly. I don't know. But we will try again. If in doubt, that's the beauty of double-sided cardstock. You can flip it over and do it again. And make sure there's plenty of Versamark on it. Then we will use this underneath it because there's no give in my glass mat. And try again. And I can see that that looks like it's taken, but I don't know if you can see how it's, yeah, I moved it, oops, slightly It is being absorbed, so that's good. When I lift it, much better impression. Much, much better. Okay. What was I going to do with this one? I was going to silver it, wasn't I? Okay. Silver, silver. Let it sit for a moment. Tap it off. It looks really good. Hard to tell because it's quite dark on the dark, but that looks really good. Let me just pop these back into the jar because otherwise it'll go everywhere because you just know that I'll spill it. Here we go. You don't need a tray to do heat embossing. You can use a piece of paper. For years I used a piece of paper, and then I was given my little pink one, and then I thought, wow, that actually really works well. And for bigger, I'll need those, bigger stamping, heat embossing, with large areas to cover, the bigger tray works really well too, but it's not absolutely necessary, folks. A piece of paper on your desk, because you can still pour the piece of paper back into your, okay. Have to say though, these reverse tweezers, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Saves burnt fingers because heat guns get very hot. Here it goes again. How pretty is that? That's really pretty. Really, really pretty. Now, another thing you can do, we'll need to clean this stamp off for heat embossing. This one I'll need to be a bit faster with. So I need to get myself organized, is actually just use your regular stamp pad. So make sure it's clean. Stampin' scrub comes in handy. Get everything ready so that there's no waiting around. Plate ready, the tray ready, the embossing powder ready. Okay. Line this up, and shaded spruce is colour on colour. Now I think Maureen's done this in a class, if I remember. We did this in one Christmas workshop, I'm pretty sure. Colour on colour. Ink up your stamp really, really well. You do need to work fast with this one. So ink up your stamp really, really well. Stamp your image. Let the paper absorb the ink, just a little. Lift it off. And then I want clear, don't I? Where's the clear? Where's the clear? Ah! Thinking silver, but I want clear. Cover it with your clear embossing powder. Again, make sure everything's covered. I'm happy with that. So now that's done, I can safely put the powder back in the jar so that I don't make a big mess, because you know I will. So what I do, I'm a messy cook and a really messy crafter. See how clean the tray is when you use the embossing buddy in it? All the embossing powder goes back into the jar. It's really good. It all. Pop the lid back on. Throw it away. There's my silver. Fix that in a moment. Close the ink pad. The tweezers. And let's see what this turns out like. There we go. Done. Colour on colour. So you don't actually need embossing powder, as in coloured embossing powders, to heat emboss. A clear and your colours will work wonders. How are we going for time? I need to clean that stamp off, and then we'll do some die cutting, and I'll see what I can do to the front of this gift box, because I'm still not sure what I want to do. But I did want to show you that heat embossing is fun. It's like magic, I think, because you can see it change before your very eyes. It's amazing. All right. So many different techniques that you can do with heat embossing. There, get there. Look at there, that goes in there, that goes in there. Nope, that goes in there. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, put the stamp away. It's stuck fast, so peel it gently. Don't just tear at it. These stamps will stretch. Don't, if it's stuck fast, use your fingers to gently get it off the block, because they will stretch. And then your image isn't nearly as nice as it could be. Pop that back in there. So, and stick that back. Oh no, I need that, don't I? Those in there. There we go. bags. Put things away as I go or I'll lose them. Just know I will. All right. So let's cut these 2 snowflakes and see how they turn out. On there. Make sure the plate's lined up. No, plates aren't lined up. There we go. Why am I having trouble today? Because I'm bottom top. There we go. Hands aren't working well today, are they? Oh. That means the weather's about to change. That's pretty. That's very pretty. Silver one. Layer them up. Layer them up. I'll think about it. Okay, let's do this other one. See what it looks like. Washi stuck fast. I'm just going to trim that off. Just across there. Lining out the die. Okay, if you haven't already subscribed to my newsletter, my weekly newsletter, the link is below. Doesn't cost you anything. I try to include some sort of tip or card recipe or something each week, so it's fun and interesting, as well as news of what's going on. Okay, just like that. They're lined up like that, and it's lined up. Is it going through? Yeah, it's going through. There we go. Got it done. Thursday night, folks, my order should be here by then. Hopefully it'll be here by then. So I thought I'd do an unboxing. Maureen asked for an unboxing, so I thought I'd do an unboxing on Thursday night. If you want to join me, that would be lovely. That goes over there, that can go there. There we go. The green. I can't see, something's in my way. What have I clicked on? Clicked on something. So I've got that. I've got that. We've got the silver on the silver. You could do gold on gold. And we've got silver on white. They're really pretty. You could have used, I could have used, let's see, shaded spruce. I could have put pretty peacock on top of that. Would have been just slightly different. I could have gone a little bit lighter with garden green. Would have given a slightly different effect. But this heat embossing is so much fun. So much fun and so versatile for giving your project impact. It's amazing. And I still haven't decided what I want to do with this box, and I need to hurry up and decide, but I've got to use it. Put this die away so I don't lose it. So I don't know, but when I decide, I'll show you. I have no idea how I'm going to decorate it. I'm still thinking. It doesn't normally take me this long, but I'm still thinking. As soon as it's done, I'll post a photo for you over on our group page, and you can see it. Now, there's a playlist for, if you've missed any of the videos, there is a playlist for Stamptober. I've been adding the videos every day to the playlist. You can binge watch them. It'd be like binge watching on Netflix, only you're binge watching on YouTube. If you want to, that would be really good. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, just hit the subscribe button. It will be really, really helpful to us if you're subscribed, but it's also helpful to you because then you're notified of new videos when they go up. And what was the last thing? Oh, thumbs up if you like the video. If you've got any questions about heat embossing, just drop me a line or send me a message or email or something. Put it in the comments and I'll do my best to answer the question for you. Our October starter kit special is still going. We've got another 2 weeks of that. $60, and you can choose up to $235 worth of product, or you can pay the regular $169 starter kit price and choose up to $344 worth of product. So if you want the bigger Stampin' Cut and Emboss, or you've got a lot of tools you want to buy, or you might want to get a mega suite, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. If you just want to start paper crafting on a budget, the $60 starter kit offer is amazing value, and we'd love to have you join us on our team. Alrighty, I'm going to go. I don't know what I want to do to finish this box off, but as soon as I work it out, I'll take a photo and post it for you so you know. I feel really bad that we haven't finished anything today, but never mind. I'll show you. I'll be back tomorrow, 2:30, same time, with another Stamptober video, Christmas crafting special. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining me today. I've really, really appreciated you giving up your time to spend it with me, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, folks.